Here at the Hare Krishna Project, we're an organisation that really believes in and values inclusion. We don't just preach inclusion, we practice it too. One of the founding ideas behind setting up the project last year and encouraging devotees from across the country to join the Hare Krishna Project, get involved, support our campaigns, is that we wanted to be as inclusive as possible. One of the things I like about living in, I guess, Western society, Western culture, living in the UK, is equality. Mostly is enshrined in law. We've got the 2010 Equality Act, which means that certain groups of people are protected. You can't discriminate against people based on certain characteristics, religious beliefs, values, sexuality, sexual orientation, things like that. And those are really, really important. And so as setting up this kind of preaching project around a year ago, we wanted to make sure that the Hare Krishna Project was a kind of a modern and progressive way of not only practicing Gaudiya Vaishnavism, but sharing Gaudiya Vaishnavism. I find it really upsetting that even in the year 2022, people in the Hare Krishna movement are still arguing over about how women should be included. Of course women should be included. I cannot believe we're still having that conversation in 2022. I say this often, but if you look at the history of religion, if you look at the sociology of religion, the religious groups that are the most successful are not necessarily those that have changed their message, but those that are presenting their message in different ways according to time, place and circumstance. It's been great here at the Hare Krishna Project to support so many people over the last year who have been experiencing, I don't know, mental health difficulties, trauma, depression, people that have really kind of struggled to answer the question for themselves. Do they fit into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement? And absolutely they do. We really need to get to the point in the Hare Krishna movement of being as inclusive as possible. We have to accept that we're not all the same. We're all different. Certainly on the outside, externally, we're all completely different, and therefore we have to get to that point of accepting people of where they are in their lives, and we have to stop judging people. I get so fed up when devotees judge other devotees or cast judgment on other devotees based on number of rounds they're chanting or not chanting, based on the clothes that they wear, based on the people that they love, based on, whether they eat out in restaurants or not. This, my opinion, and I'm, I often say I'm kind of on the more liberal, progressive wing of the movement. We have to just stop judging people, and we need to start including people based on where they are in their lives. A friend of mine is an Anglican vicar. And this Anglican church is kind of evangelical. It's kind of softened over the years, I think, because my friend the vicar has probably softened himself over the years. But, he has seen success in the growth of his church because he's changed the way he shares Christianity. When he set up the church about 15 years ago, he really he showed me this diagram where there was this circle, and Jesus, or the concept of Jesus, was in the middle of the circle, and you're either in the circle or not. Then after several years, he realised that approach to churchianity or Christianity wasn't working. And actually, there isn't a circle anymore. There's a big dot in the middle, which is Jesus, and there's lots of smaller dots on the piece of paper around the big dot. And some people are closer to the big dot, and some people are further away from the big dot. But everyone's on the same piece of paper, or, excuse the analogy, everybody's on the same hymn sheet. And that's what we need to do in our approach to sharing Krishna consciousness with people all over the world, Western people of the East, if that's opposite to the West, to be as inclusive as possible. In the UK, in the United Kingdom, the number of people possibly practicing Krishna consciousness or trying to practice Krishna consciousness is about 0.002% of the UK population. It's hardly something to be super proud about or to shout about. We've got a long way to go to really... There's so much work to be done to share Krishna consciousness in the UK, So when people become devotees or people are devotees, you know, the last thing you want to do then is then to push them away or to criticize them or to tell them not welcome, to tell them they're not included. If you look at the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the teachings of our acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, they were all about liberally, I'm a proud liberal, liberally sharing Krishna consciousness with everyone and anyone. Not, you know, not just men who wore dhotis in the pucka fashion. Absolutely not. We need to get better at being inclusive, you know, and most people, certainly from someone who's not from a devotee background, I can tell you most people will not come round to this ridiculous idea of wearing Indian-based clothes. I mean, I am today because of based on the event I'm going to today. It's time, place, circumstance. But ultimately, I just feel like a bit of an alien, to be honest. So here at the Hare Krishna Project, we don't just practice inclusion. We don't just preach inclusion, we practice it as well. We want people to feel included and valued and part of a team and that they fit in. Everybody wants to fit in. Everyone wants to belong to something. So my Saturday morning walk message to all my Hare Krishna friends is be inclusive and be compassionate to one another. Hare Krishna.